Okay, this will be a challenging piece. So we're going to start with putting it on photo paper. It should hopefully come up a treat. And just go here, full colour. I don't know how big we're going to make it. It's going to be a challenge, trying to get the sizing correct. So we're just going to keep it in positive mode, I do think. Going to add less contrast. Copy density, probably go all the way. Don't know how this one's going to turn out. I've done these before. Okay, we're going to find out how big we're going to make it. So we're just going to get our original up. It is a fridge magnet of Sydney. One side it shows the skyline in a rather stylised fashion, and on the back it has another fridge magnet. So this is like a double-sided fridge magnet. Never heard of such things until today. So now it's time to put it on the glass. We're doing the colourful bits. Surprise, surprise, not. So it's a lot smaller than an A6. We're going to have a little bit of a tricky time trying to enlarge this to the right size. So now we're going to start with 200 or 300. 290 for that. And we're going 290 for that. So we're going to start with 290 by 290. So let's see how that looks. I don't think it's going to be right size. I think it's going to be way too small. So let's see how we go. Okay, right. Colour-wise it looks interesting. Funny how on the side we've lost the edge of that one and we still got the top edge there, so I'm wondering how we're going to sort that out. Hang on, this is the edge from there. We've made this a little bit too big, so that's interesting, but I don't like the borders around here. Whatever, I'm just going to have to do some tweaking of it. So the top of the magnetic border. So now we're just going to have to slide this from the edge of the page just a little bit so we can show the original border on there. And we're just going to maybe make it's almost the right size vertically. So it looks like we're closer to correct than I thought. So now I'm thinking we're going to make the horizontal a bit smaller. So we're going to make it 286 for that, and maybe 290, thinking 293, and see how that looks. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah. We're almost the right size for the vertical, but for the horizontal we're still a bit too big. We've got to get this other side done. I'm just wondering for the right size, and we're just going to have to make our horizontal a bit smaller. So we're going to make our horizontal a bit smaller. We're going to make it 280. We're going 283. I'm going to take a big bit off. I'm not going to get too small and nibbly with it. Nibbling just drives me mad, trying to get it bit by bit by bit, and it just keeps going on and on. So I'm just taking a punt with a larger chunk. So we just take a larger chunk out of it, and we're still a long way away from getting to the edge. I don't know how far we are from the edge, but we're still way away. So we're going to have to take this is what nibbling is like. It just it's too slow, but we don't want to take too much off at once. So we're going to call it 200 and 75. Calling it 275 for the horizontal. Let's see how we go. We're still too big. We're still a long way off, it looks. Looks like we've got a fair amount off. I don't know how far we are. I don't remember how much from the edge, but we seem to be taking too many pot shots here. It feels that way. I'm thinking now we're going to have to go much farther. Because even when we're not nibbling, we're still nibbling. So we're going 265. We're going to take much more off and see what happens. This is going to use up a lot of paper, unfortunately. I don't want to use up too much. I don't feel like having to put more paper in or run out of paper at the end. We're still a long way off. It seems as if we're just a long way off. I don't know how far we got to go, but I know we've got to make this. This has got to show. We don't have it right up against the edge. So now, I don't know. I'm just wondering why we're just nibbling. Nibble, 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 nibble. I hate nibbling. Okay, we're going to call it 200. We're going rough now. We're going to go 250. Stuff the nibbling. We're going to nibble less and just take a big punt on it. I'm not a person who gambles, but sometimes I do take gambling when I do this, but it's not to do with money or losing too much. We're getting close, I think, but we're still a long way off. We've finally got that. I should have known, because that's now showing. I don't know how far this is. I didn't look at the magnet long enough to remember it. I have a really bad memory problem, so it shouldn't surprise us. So 240. We're going 240. Now we're just taking fucking guesses. Oh yes, finally. Now we can nibble a little bit to the end. Now we can see the end is in sight. So now we're just going to drop it down a bit more. I think that was a good punt. 240. So now we're going to go 230 something. 230 going 235, or maybe 236. We're going 236, so we're taking 4% off. That should hopefully be a good little nibble to get us through to the finish line, hopefully. So let's see how this looks. So yeah, that looks a lot better. It's not perfect. We're not totally in the center as we'd like to be with this fridge magnet, but now we can see. I think that's close enough. Now you can see that a lot of the shit's been compressed, because we stretched it more vertically than we did horizontally, but that's how we're trying to fit the page. I think now we can finally call this demo quits.